Hello there everyone, welcome to another series here on FM Scout YouTube channel. My name's Luke and today I'm going to bring you the first 10 unearthed potential stars. That's right, we have more than one video coming your way of these potential stars. We are calling them potential stars because they're not necessarily the wonder kids that you all know and love from this game. These are more obscure, more unknown, if you will. Maybe you do know them, I don't know. Maybe you are a very in-depth Football Manager player, but these guys will need some TLC to reach their full potential. Some game time, some decent training to avoid injuries. But we will have screenshots of them looking very tasty indeed in the future, as well as showing you what they are like at the start of the game. Now, like I said, there is going to be more than one of these videos, so why not we set a like target to bring number 2 your way as fast as possible. If we can hit 1,000 likes, I will bring number 2, episode 2, with another 10 unearthed potential stars as fast as you can hit 1,000 likes. That's right, I'm treating you today. So, it's over to you, but now it's over to me to show you these 10 potential stars. Starting off with this man. Now, starting off this list, we have one of my favourite players on this game that I have used in many of my saves so far. That is Zlatan Sejovic. He is a Serbian under-18s left back. Originally from Partizan at the start of the game, they released him at the end of their season. And now he finds himself at Maccabi Nentanya in the Israeli League. A team I've never really heard of. So, you will they've got him on a free transfer. You will have to wait until half a season before you can start making a move for this man. But you can pick him up for rather cheap still, even on the updated version of the database. As you can see, he already has good fundamental attributes to begin this game. Let's have a look to see what he's like in the future. Here he is in all his glory a few years down the line, currently playing for AC Milan. Now, as you can see, this is a save game file where we used him at Strasbourg, and now he is at AC Milan after going to PSG as well. So he's played for some big clubs already, and I think you'll agree he is probably one of the best left backs that you will see at such a young age of 23 that you've probably never heard of. But you will need to give him some TLC, like I say. Give him a lot of game time, and I promise you he will reap the rewards from it. And you could make a tidy profit from this man in a few years' time if you decide to sell him. Zlatan Sejovic, a very good player to start this list off. Next up, we head to Russia, and we have Matvey Safonov. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. He is currently playing for Krasnodar as their number 1 goalkeeper, so you might have to pay a little bit more in the future to pull this man away from Russia. However, he does have very good mental stats. He is 6'4", only 20 years of age. Decent reflexes, he can throw the ball very well, his distribution's rather good with 14 kicking as well, decent at one-on-ones. However, he does have low handling. Now, this is the only downfall of this man. If he had better handling, you probably would not stop hearing about this guy. Now, let's have a look at him in a few years' time. Here we go. Here he is, 20 determination, decent reflexes. His handling's gone up a couple, and as you can see, the rest of his attributes have as well. Currently finding himself in the Premier League with Bournemouth. I think if you get this player for rather cheap, you could find yourself either a very good backup goalkeeper, or if you're a lower league side, a very good first team goalkeeper indeed. The Russian Matvey Safonov. A striker now, we find Danny Loader, who can also play across the front three as well. You will find him at Reading in the Championship. Now, he has decent determination. He's only 18 years old, 6 foot already. Very good physicals for his age. And the technicals will grow, I promise you that. As you can see, he's currently wanted by a lot of Premier League sides, so you may have to race to get this man. But I think it will definitely be worth it, because this is what he looks like in the future. Here we have it then. He's even changed his hair in this face pack. We have very decent physicals indeed. The technicals have caught up as well, like I promised you. Good flair, good determination. He's 23 years old, and that value is very tasty indeed. Currently playing in the Premier League for Newcastle. £30 million he is worth. Scored a lot of goals for Reading. I think this could be a bit of a championship bargain. If you manage to get in quite early on, maybe as a loan deal as well, you could be looking at a very good player indeed. Danny Loader, the Englishman. A young centre midfielder for you next, Tomas Svet Lin. I think that's how you call him. Slovenian, and he plays in the Slovenian league for Domžale. And as you can see, he already has quite good attributes for a young centre midfielder already. Unless you're looking for flair players, then he is definitely not your man. However, he does grow very nicely in the future. He is valued only at 97k, so you might be able to pick this man up for rather cheap, and he could be looking for you. Well, you could actually use him just to turn over some money in the future once you've played him a little bit more, and his value does go up when he's in a better league. I think he looks quite good though. He's sort of an all-rounder. He's good at dribbling. He has decent passing and vision. You could probably mold into what sort of style or position role that you want to use. But here he is in the future. 22 years old now, still at the same club, and this tells me that you can probably get this player to be an even better player than what he already is. Because if he is this good still in Slovenia, imagine if you had better state-of-the-art training facilities, better coaches, playing in a better league, given him first-team football. You could have quite a player on your hands here with Tomas Svet Lin. Like I said, decent passing and vision, that's already grown as well. He's now developed a new role, the deep line playmaker in the DM role. Decent natural fitness, very good dribbling and fast touch. Like I said, a bit of an all-rounder. Even his flair's gone up, so maybe that is a possibility as well. But I think this guy could be very good, and you could probably pick him up for a rather cheap price. Now, a few of you may already know this man, Adam Hlozek, a 16-year-old Czech Republic player from Sparta Prague. Now, the reason why you might already know it is because I know a couple of people have already mentioned it in the comments of previous videos, but a lot of people might not know it. That is why he is on my list. Incredible physicals already, very decent mentals. The technicals, I promise you, will improve. He is currently wanted on this game at the start of the database by Manchester City, so you might have to get in there fast. I know before this update came in, you could pick this man up for less than 100k, but I think now his value is worth a little bit more. You might have to pay a little bit more, but I promise you, he is worth it. Let's have a look at him in the future. Now, here he is, playing for Real Madrid, and I think you'll agree he is an incredible player. If Real Madrid are using him, then he must be. 76 appearances, 15 goals so far, played for Manchester United, Eintracht Frankfurt, Monterrey, San Sebastian, of course, Real Sociedad. This is 10 years on now, so I think you'll agree he has turned into quite the player. And if he's at Real Madrid, he must be good. Across the front three, he can play in any position. I think, personally, where they have him there is probably his best position. Coming in off that right-hand side, he's got a reasonable left foot and a very strong right foot. So maybe you can train him to be an inside forward on the left, and he could be very good for you there too. Adam Hlozek. Now, the next player on this list is Louie Monta, and probably the reason why I created this list in the first place. As you can see, a very good player currently in Romania, a youngster, 17 years old, 6 foot already, only worth 185k. Now, you can actually sign this man, approach to sign at the start of the game. If you negotiate the contract, you will only pay a current compensation fee of £1.6 million. Now, you might be thinking, he doesn't look incredible. Let me show you what he does in the future. Now, this is the same man at Lazio years on. And as you can see, he has turned into what I'd class as a world-class striker, currently playing at Lazio. Insane physicals that you can see there. Decent dribbling and fast touch. Very good finishing. 17 composure. Good flair. Very good off the ball and vision. His technique's decent. He scored 104 goals in 252 games for Lazio. You can even play him in behind the strikers coming off the wings. But like I say, this man will need some game time. You'll have to give him some love. Give him decent training. Put some decent coaches in your side, and I promise you, you'll get the best out of Louie Monta. Now, I also have a screenshot of someone else using him at Strasbourg right here and scoring an insane amount of goals in a season. 36 goals in 38 games with 7 assists with this man. Very early on in the game as well, if you have a look. That is in the 2021-22 season. So Louie Monta as an incredible player, and I very much suggest that you try and get this man in your save as early as possible. The next player we have on the list is Edgar Eli, a Uruguayan, 19 years old, only worth 155k in the second division of Italy. Very good physicals to start off with. His mentals aren't that bad considering his age, and as you can see, his technicals are very close to also being quite impressive. Currently plays on the left, however, he can play in the centre of defence as well. A good left foot, not so good right foot. Let's see what he's like in the future. Here he is then, in the future, valued at 15 million, and I think you'll agree he has come on leaps and bounds as well as a player. Those physicals are to die for. A very good left back, probably someone that you've never heard of or never thought of using. However, I think this man will be solid for you, especially if you're a lower league side or you are just using him as a backup. That is some backup to use. Edgar Eli, I think, is an incredible player and an unearthed potential star, very fitting for this list. The next player on this list is Lorenzo Colombo, an Italian striker from AC Milan. Now, he is at AC Milan, so you might struggle to prize him away. However, if you do manage to get him, he could be very good for you in the future. He has decent determination. His physicals are alright. He's 6 foot. Only worth 70k at the minute, and you can also approach to sign. So maybe he's actually willing to sign for me here. I am currently Leicester City, so he's willing to go to the Premier League at Leicester City from AC Milan. You can also get him on loan at the start of the game too. Now, let's have a look to see what he does in the future, because this man surprised me quite a lot. Here is Lorenzo currently playing for Ajax in the future. About 10 years on, his physicals are very good indeed. His technicals have come on nicely. He's good at heading the ball, finishing. He has decent dribbling and first touch as well, and good technique. His mentals are good in the correct places that you'd want them to be. Maybe the composure is slightly low, but I think the anticipation, the off the ball, and the work rate is rather good and fitting for a player like Lorenzo. He's currently scored 44 goals in 88 appearances for Ajax. Rather good goal scoring contributions there for this man. So give this guy a chance if you're looking for an Italian striker. Now, the penultimate guy on this list is so obscure he doesn't even have a face in my face pack. It is Byrne, and he plays for Ajax Cape Town in South Africa. Of course, a feeder team for the Dutch Ajax. Now, this man is just 16 years old at the start of the game, 25k. He will probably be the cheapest player on this video. He has good determination. He has the fundamentals to be a very good centre-back to begin with. The mentals aren't that bad, and the physicals are getting there. You can approach to sign him as well at the start of the save. He is currently on £15 of wages, but I'm sure as well if you offered Ajax Cape Town a small sum of money, if you have already started the game and he has already signed a deal, you can probably get him still for quite cheap. And he is worth it because he does turn out to be a rather good centre-back. Let's have a look. Here he is in the future, 20 years old, so he still has a while yet before he progresses. And as you can see by his current and potential ability, he still has about 1.5 to 2 stars to go before he has reached his potential. Decent positioning, his heading's very good, his marking's good, his tackling's good, the fundamentals like I mentioned before. His pace and acceleration has come on leaps and bounds, and his agility is also very good. I think this guy can be a very good backup centre-back for the Premier League. I really do. You might even want to start him if you are a lower league side or you are sort of a relegation team for the Premier League. This guy will definitely be strong for you. I think he's very good for his value. Byrne, a South African, I think is good for this list. And finally, anyone who is fans of my saves on my own channel, which I do have, the link is down in the description, you'll know I love this player, Herman Gilmoyden, also known as Fairhurst after one of my Patreon members. Of course, Herman Gilmoyden has just moved to PSV, which is rather annoying because before that, at Stabæk, you could get him for even cheaper. However, I have seen this man go for rather cheap during the new update because PSV just don't tend to use him. And he does turn out to be a rather impressive player. Just 17 at the start of the game. He's 5'9", but I think for his size, he does put it in. Has good physicals to begin with. He has that 14 finishing, which you will see increase. Decent mentals ability already. Let's have a look to see what he does in the future. Here he is in the future. Now this is before the latest update, so he hasn't gone to PSV. However, his potential is still exactly the same in the editor, so you will still find this player if you give him the game time that he requires. The tender, loving care that we've mentioned before. Now, the physicals are very good indeed. The finishing has increased. He's very good at set pieces too. And the mentals make him look an all-round solid centre forward. An advanced forward, you can play him false nine. You can even play him across the front three in behind. He's even gained an inch, so there we go. The Norwegian on rather cheap wages. This is at Milan as well in Denmark, so maybe if you brought him over to a European country with better training facilities, he will turn out to be even better. Herman Gilmoiden. So there we have it then. Those are the first 10 potential unearthed stars that we have here on FM Scout. Like I said, we have 4 more of these coming out at least. So if you do smash that like button and we get to 1,000 likes straight away, the next one will be out. So that is your task for this video. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the FM Scout YouTube channel. We have plenty more videos coming your way, which will help you and aid you whilst playing this incredible game that we all love. Please stay safe, stay indoors, play some more FM, and if you are looking for some Let's Play action, the link to my channel is also down in the description. I'll see you soon for the next one. Bye bye.